Juicy, delicious, shredded beef. Does it get any better? This might be your go-to order at Chipotle, but today I'm going to show you to make it even better. It's time to make homemade beef barbacoa. So tender, it falls apart the moment you touch it. Hey friends, Vince here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making a delicious barbacoa right in the crock pot. You may just think this is your favorite Chipotle order, but it's actually a delicious, easy recipe you can make right at home. Friends, if you haven't already, ask that you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I make delicious new recipes every Thursday. So there's a lot of different ways to make barbacoa. You'll see, some recipes call for beef cheek, tongue, short rib. Today we're just using chuck. I want to keep things as simple as possible. Everyone likes chuck roast. It's easy to find. You often can actually get a good piece of chuck with just insane marbling at a good price if you really know where to look. So that's what we're going to be using today. So this marinade that we're whipping up for a barbacoa has just got so many delicious flavors. It's got fresh cilantro, lime juice, vinegar, beef broth, onion, garlic, chipotle peppers. It's going to be rich and complex, and it's just going to bring out the best flavor you ever had. All right, enough with the talking. Let's get down to making the marinade. So we want to start out with some of our chunkier ingredients at the bottom when we're making our marinade. So we got these delicious chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. We're just going to get those in there. Next, I have 2 dried guajillo chilies, some apple cider vinegar, half a bunch of some fresh cilantro, the juice from 2 limes. We have salt, good old regular chili powder, chipotle chili powder, oregano, garlic powder, and cumin. I got a list of all the exact measurements right below for you. We also have some black pepper, some clove, and some onion powder. We're also going to add in 5 cloves of garlic and 1 rough chopped onion. And then finally, we're going to round it out with some organic beef broth. Now blend together all your ingredients on high until you have a smooth marinade for your meat. This should only take a few seconds. Now that our marinade is finished, we're going to grab 3.5 pounds of chuck roast. To prep this meat for our crock pot, all we need to do is cut into medium-sized chunks. This will help it cook a bit more evenly in the crock pot and break down faster. This step is optional, but I definitely recommend it. I love cooking with chuck roast. It's cheap, easy to find, and delicious. All right, now all we have to do is throw these delicious chunks of meat right into our crock pot, make a nice even layer. And now look how delicious our marinade looks. It almost looks like a thick, chunky salsa. And we're just gonna cover it. And you see how blending it makes sure that we get all those flavors completely on there. And then we're just gonna come in with our hands and make sure that everything is nice and submerged and covered well. And finally, it wouldn't be complete without 1, 2 bay leaves right on top. So as you can see, guys, when I said this was easy, I wasn't lying. All we have to do now is wait. We're gonna let this cook low and slow in the crock pot for about 8 to 10 hours. When it's done, it's gonna shred beautifully just, with 2 forks. You can just pick it up and it's gonna fall apart. So one thing we're gonna do to make this barbacoa even more delicious is we're gonna serve it with my homemade salsa. I have a link right down below for the full recipe. All right, so our delicious meat's been cooking all day. Now make sure you save all that delicious juice that's hanging out in your slow cooker. If you've ever had birria tacos, the leftovers taste very similar to a birria consomme. You can serve it in a bowl on the side and dip your tacos in it, and man, you're not gonna be disappointed, I promise you that. So it's time to take the lid off this delicious meat, shred it, throw some corn tortillas in the oven, warm them up, and make some delicious street tacos. And we know our meat's done when, I don't even have to put any real pressure on these forks. It's coming apart, with no problem whatsoever. Now we can take some of that delicious broth and add it back in with our meat. And all that delicious flavor is just going to soak right back into our barbacoa. Finally, we have some corn tortillas that we just warmed up for our meat. I like to double stack them. This lets you pile on some extra meat and not worry about all that juice from the meat just destroying the tortilla on the spot. We're also going to add some fresh cilantro on top and serve it with a side of our homemade salsa roja. Traditionally, these also come with some raw onions on top. But since we use so much onion in the marinade and there's lots of onion in the salsa, I skipped out this time. But if you want to go traditional, make sure to add some onion here too. Last but not least, each taco deserves its own lime wedge for good measure. And what you're left with is a true sight of beauty. These barbacoa street tacos look amazing and delicious, and you know what? They taste even better. All right, I'd be lying if this wasn't the best part of my day. So we got these delicious street tacos, a little cilantro, just a squeeze of fresh lime. Also got some homemade salsa that I made. This homemade salsa, I got a recipe right below. Got another video if you want to check it out, but we're going to do a bite, plain Jane, I guess if you could call this plain, and then we're going to try some of that homemade salsa, so cheers, guys. Oh, man. And you know it's good when I got this delicious homemade salsa and I ate a taco without even putting anything on it. I mean, it honestly, it stands alone pretty well. So if it's this good without the sauce, oh, I could not be more excited to add this delicious homemade salsa right over the top. Now this is going to be next level. Cheers, guys. It goes so good with some fresh salsa. It just really takes it over the top. But honestly, it's so good. It stands alone on its own, you know. You can just eat this on a bed of rice or even on a tortilla right by itself with a splash of lime and you ain't going to be complaining. I'll put it that way. Till next time.